Good morning everyone and welcome to Cooking with Janet. We've had jogging with Janet and now there's cooking with Janet, or Miss Van Rijssen as you call me. So today you need to download your recipe for the beautiful bliss balls. And just in case you wondered, yes, I am a MasterChef tragic, so that's why I'm cooking with you today. So bliss balls is a great one because it's no bake cooking. So we just have a few simple ingredients. And you know, most of you should have a packet of biscuits, or remember, if you can't cook it today, cook it Friday afternoon or next Wednesday so you can get the ingredients ready. So of course we've started with our nice clean hands. I've got my apron on, but you shouldn't be too messy with this one. So let's get started. Now I've got a food processor here, which is a really easy way. So if you've got some sort of Thermomix or crushing contraption, but don't worry, if you've only got a wooden spoon or a mallet or something, you could pop them in a Ziploc bag is best so you don't get biscuits everywhere, and get the wooden spoon and crush that way, sorry, the rolling pin, and either roll or crush, all that sort of thing. So by putting them in the processor, and I've just got milk arrowroot biscuits, something sort of plain, this will happen nice and quickly and make it nice and fine. But you know, it doesn't matter if you've got chunkier bits there, it all tastes good in the end. So I'm going to pop them in there, click it in nice and safely, and look, I'm just going to stick it. It's a bit noisy, that's exciting. Or you can pulse it. Pulse is a bit easier for cleaning. Don't get scared when it makes lots of noise. I'm going to have a look and see there's still some chunky bits in there, so I'm just going to do it a bit finer. So basically I just want to get my biscuits to a nice crumbly consistency, so it's just like a pastry type of thing. It's very exciting. Oh, perfect. Excellent. Try not to make too much mess. Okay, so you can see I've just shaken that off there. And of course, if you're concerned about using some sort of electric device and you're not sure about it, check in with your parents or whoever's at home with you. The blades are usually obviously quite sharp, so you don't want to get your fingers in there. I'm just going to tip this now into my bowl. And some of these, the middle bits come off. You might need to wiggle it. There we are. But they are razor sharp, so don't be sticking your fingers in there. I'm just going to pop that to the side. And a really handy tool is the old spatula. It's one of my favourites because you can get in right in on the sides and get all those tasty goodness bits out. There we are. So some of you will know that I'm actually celiac, which means gluten-free. So I won't be able to eat these myself, but you could easily just pick a plain packet of gluten-free biscuits to substitute, and that would be fine. So everything else is gluten-free, but just not my biscuits, but that's okay. So you can see there I've got some finer bits, some slightly chunkier bits, and I've just mixed that around. Now all we're going to do now, you've got your ingredients there, is we're going to pretty much add all of these ingredients, okay? Now I've got some extra coconut for rolling in later, so don't get too confused with that. That's the half a cup for later, but I'm going to add 1 cup of desiccated coconut. So that's the little, you know, sort of like snowy looking stuff. So we'll put that cup in. We then have a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and of course that's going to make the chocolatey goodness. That's the whole point of it really, isn't it? And you can do other flavours with your bliss balls, but we just start with the nice chocolate ones today. But maybe if you decide instead of chocolate you want to do some lemon or other flavours, you know, you could let us know and we could put in suggestions for changes. So I'm just giving that a little bit of a mix around because it's easier to mix it while it's dry. As soon as this yumminess goes in there, it gets very sticky and messy. Okay, how easy is that? Lovely. So now I've got my sweetened condensed milk. There's lots of different brands there, but we all know that this is the best thing ever. I'm just going to move that away. So this is where you definitely need your spatula to get all the goodness out. Once again, just be careful with the ring get that off, and up we go. Delicious. What have I got in the background? That's I'm sure that I've got a nice well in the middle to mix. I don't know. I'm getting some a little bit of criticism on the side from a hospitality teacher, but you know, I am just a home cook.
No, Miss Van Rijssen, we're actually just trying to work out who we should get to taste test these, to be honest.
Well, it can't be me, can it? So
no, look, if I have to step in, I will.
I'm sure you will, Mr. Osmond.
Sacrifice yourself.
Now, the reason I like the spatula is so I can get that in there to scrape all that delicious condensed milk out. And you know, it's okay. It's okay if you make a little bit of a mess, but you can see it's a bit messy in there, but it's all in the bowl. Okay, so the trick is combining this all together without getting it everywhere. And I'm sure there was... So it's going to take a little bit of time to work that in so that all of the dry mixture has a little bit of sticky coating on it. And you know, it won't be too long and I'll just get my fingers in there. And I find if you've got a spoon or spatula, sort of pushing the condensed milk into it almost, compressing it. That way it's sort of like, it's helping all of the dry ingredients to absorb up that sweet, delicious yumminess. So what I'm going to do now is get my hands in there pretty soon. I know when I was a child I used to make at Christmas every year, similar sort of thing. We called it snowballs, and it was my favourite. Instead of the biscuit crumbs we used Wheat Bix, and that was handy because you could just crush up all the Wheat Bix with your hands. So if you're stuck and at home and don't have any biscuits, try that. I think it was about 10 or 12 Wheat Bix. And same sort of thing, you've just got, rather than the crumb, you've got the flaky wheat. Awesome. Okay, so I'll put that spatula to the side. A little bit of mess. Now we need to now get these into balls. You can make them smaller or bigger or what have you, but about walnut size, about that big. What I find is quite useful, this can get quite sticky, and by the end my hands are probably going to be a bit of a mess. So sometimes if you wet your fingers first, it can help so it doesn't stick as much. But I'm going to grab like a tablespoon measure here, and that will just help me to sort of get some mixture in there. Roll it in, sort of squish it a bit, and then roll it together. That looks like a nice generous, odd shape, generous size, and then we're going to roll it in the coconut. Okay. Now this is a little bit time consuming, so this is where you could get your friends, any of your friends that are standing there watching you to help. And then we just pop that in. There's a nice big one. I think that's an oversized walnut, but that's okay.
Miss Van Rijssen, I'm just wondering, at this early stage, this is your first prototype obviously to come off the production line. Do you think it'd be a good idea to have a taste test? Would that be the right thing to do?
Mr.
I think you know what I think, but
that's a pretty big one though.
There's a few teachers mulling around the door. I don't know what it is about this time of the day.
Look, I'll make some little smaller ones as a taste test.
Oh, okay.
They are a bit, I might try and press them down a bit more. That's what I need to do.
In fact, I think that's Mrs. Gain outside. Let's see if
it is, and I think she's actually going to come and help me because it's our Wimple Dolphin Power. We are always part of the pod, aren't we, Miss?
Hi, crew. That's great, Miss.
Would you like to sample one of the, you know?
Sounds good.
I know that Mr. Osmond is like probably going to push you out of the way, but I could probably make one for him too. So I'm just trying to get a bit more of a delicate size. There you go.
Yum.
The official tasting from Mrs. Gain.
Oh, it's like Christmas.
Oh, it is like Christmas, isn't it? But in April. How exciting.
Oh, it's yum.
Almost like Christmas.
Milk arrowroot biscuits.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Excellent. I was just saying that I used to do a recipe in my childhood that was Wheat Bix. So you could crush them up. Getting to the end now, look, it does take a bit of time. So the important thing is that you need to refrigerate them. They're very soft at the moment, and they do firm up when you put them in the refrigerator. So finish them off. You can make them different size. Okay, that's a big Mr. Osmond size ball. That's the sort of the normal size I'd probably do, but up to you. You know, whatever you want to do there. And then pop them in a sealed container in the fridge, and then you've got snacks for the next few days. So enjoy, and of course make sure you clean up the kitchen when you finish so you don't leave it as a disaster area. And that's all for Cooking with Janet. Have a great day.